The Gina and Matty podcast.
I want to know some good and some bad marriage proposal stories because the bad ones are funny.
Yeah.
The good ones might inspire someone.
There was this story that went around over the weekend where a friend had been trusted in filming their friend's wedding proposal. Now, a marriage proposal. And this is a bit more of a newer thing where you take photos and you set up hidden cameras and people to film the proposal so you can remember it. And so this person was trusted, must have been like a real tight friend. Hey, guess what? I'm going to propose on the weekend. Can you just hide in the bushes and film it and get the moment so we've got it forever?
That'd be so beautiful.
How special to look back on that moment. This person was doing such a great job. They were filming it, they were holding it there, and you can see the couple talking. And then all of a sudden, the camera just starts to pan around to the right because there's a raccoon in the bush, clearly overseas. And there's this cute little raccoon, and the person's filming going, oh yeah, and then they cut back, come all the way back, and they'd missed the entire dropping to the knee. They were hugging and crying. No! They had one job. To film the proposal, and it ended up being a raccoon in the video instead of that beautiful romantic moment.
No, you just got sacked from being the best man.
100%. Gina Jeffries, would you share with us your proposal story?
I have quite a nice proposal story. Rod and I, my husband and I, were dated for 4 years first, and I remember my dad took him aside one day and said, if you don't ask her to marry you soon, I'm taking her back. And every time there was birthday, Christmas, Easter, or anything that mum and dad came away with us to, we thought, Mum and I'd look at each other and go, here we go, this is it. This is it for sure. No. So 4 years later, he took all of us, my family and friends and everything up to the Gold Coast. We stayed on 2 houseboats and we had a party one night, and I sort of felt like I knew it was coming. And the next morning, he rowed me to a little white beach in a little tinny and proposed to me on this white beach up on the Gold Coast. But my mum and Rod's mum were looking through the window watching because they knew it was happening. So they're like, oh, look what's happening. But it was very, very romantic. And then we partied very hard that night and dropped my said wedding ring, which was a fairly chunky, lovely diamond, on the deck of the boat. And went, and then I said to my soon-to-be father-in-law, who I still call him father-in-law, I said, put down that dance and come and have a drink with me. So I still often say that to him. But yeah, it was a very, very romantic proposal. What about you, Matty?
Well, mine, we've been together 9 years, so it was one of those things.
Slow?
Hurry up! And every time we went on a holiday or we did something, everyone was like, "This is it. Yeah. He's going to do it. He's going to do it." So it was all of that every time for about probably 6 years. I got that. I just needed to make sure she was the one. I just needed to make. We were young. We got together when we were 21 and 20. So so it got to the point, and we were having a holiday in the States. We went to America, and so I had the engagement ring with me, and then we travelled and we stopped at a few destinations along the way. And by the time we got to New York, we'd already been in the States probably about 2.5 weeks. And she thought, if he's going to do it, it was going to happen by now. So it's not going to happen. He's not going to propose. Yeah. We went out one night and we booked this amazing restaurant, and I had it in my jacket pocket ready to go. We both got extremely tired and emotional at the restaurant. So I ended up not proposing because we were just too, not in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, you want to remember it.
No, that's right. And then the next day, I was like, what can I do? I rang the concierge at the hotel we were staying at. Say, how do I get on one of those horse and carriage things that goes around Centennial Park? Central Park. And so we did that. I got down there. We got on the horse and carriage, and then I just got super nervous. I just got so nervous, started sweating. I went mute. Bella's like, I knew there was something wrong because you stopped talking. And then the guy driving the horse and cart was walking around going, okay, and this is where Mr. Popper's Penguin was filmed. Over here, you can see this is Ghostbusters. And I'm like, shut up! I don't want the tour! I'm waiting for the moment to propose. Got off, dropped to one knee, and I think all I got out was, I love you so much. I spend the rest of my life. Snotty crying, ugly mess of tears. But she said yes, so that was her fault. But yeah, that was my proposal story. We would love to hear yours. We've heard Gina's, we've heard mine. We would love to hear yours. It could be underwhelming. It could be amazing. Mel from Chain Valley Bay is on the line. Hello, Mel.
G'day, how you going? I got a bad one.
Okay, tell us what it is.
Well, my other half celebrates Christmas and all that sort of stuff with all of his previous workmates every Saturday before Christmas. And then it was a Sunday, it was Christmas Day, so he come home and he went, oh, it's Christmas Day. So he chucked this little box at me and he said, oh, there you go, that's for you. And I'm like, yeah, so what is it? Opened it up, here's this beautiful engagement ring, and I went, oh, that's lovely. I said, so what's this for? Is this my Christmas present? He said, it's a big one. And I'm like, what big one? He said, the big one. Oh. And a few swear words later and all that sort of stuff later, I said to him, what big one? Waiting for him to say, like, will you marry me? This is our engagement ring. And then I just went, oh, well, we're engaged. He goes, yep, and then jumped into bed.
Oh.
That sounds like the plot line of a Nancy Myers movie. Mel, Daniel from Chisholm, you've got an engagement story for us as well, mate.
Oh, I do. I had a friend that took his, then girlfriend to dinner. It was a nice restaurant on the waterfront, and during dinner, they got into an argument. The only problem was he had pre-prepared the engagement ring into the dessert, which was had the half there, put it into the ice cream. So dessert gets brought out and she's like, I don't want it, and she's pushing the dessert away and he's going, no, you want this dessert, and he's pushing it back, and they're having an argument, and then the corner of her eye she saw the sparkle in the diamond and she's like, yes, and he goes, I told you you wanted the dessert.
That is brilliant. We got one more. Jacinta in Glenning Valley, hit us with your story, Jacinta.
So my husband now and I, we lived together for not even a year, and we were in Perth for Christmas with his mum. And this was the first time I'd been there for Christmas, and I was missing home and whatever else. And it got to New Year's Eve day, and he kept going out with his brother-in-law and his father-in-law fishing, or to get beer, or just doing all this random stuff, and leaving me with his mum and his sister, who I didn't know too well at that stage. And I was getting really over it, and I was like looking up flights to come back to the coast. And they were like, oh, do you want to, we'll do your hair and we'll have some drinks because we're going to a New Year's Eve party at his mum's friend's place. And I was like, I was just beside myself. And then we got in the pool and he's like, no, I've got to go again. I've got to go get more alcohol. And I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, what is he doing? Why is he abandoning me all day? And then I get back to the party and he got so drunk, and my husband's not a big drinker. And I'm like, mate, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. Like, calm down. And he's like, I've got to go back out to the car and get something. And he's gone out and I'm like, I don't know anyone here. And his mum's like introducing me to people. And he comes back in and he's all emotional, and then it gets to the midnight countdown, and I turn around and he's on one knee proposing.
Oh.
So that's why he kept leaving me, because he went and his mum had to ring the shop and like, stay open, he's going to come and buy a ring. And then bringing my dad back in New South Wales for permission at the party. And
that's beautiful.
I liked it. You're the queen of love, Gina Jeffries. Are we going to go with Mel in Chain Valley Bay, Daniel in Chisholm, or Jacinta in Glenning Valley?
Look, I think Jacinta.
Jacinta,
Yeah.
you have scored yourself $100 to spend at Woodblock Bar and Grill at Love Lanes Festival this weekend. You can go recreate that maybe if you want at Love Lanes Festival this weekend.
We have a toddler now, so I don't think so. But thank you.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.